Good morning, everyone. The Delaware County Commissioner meeting for August 5th, 2021 is now in session. John Melvin, you're standing there in attention. Would you like to finish the pledge? Sure.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, John. Again, good morning. I'm Gary Merrill, President of the Board. To my left is Vice President Commissioner Barb Lewis, and to my right is fellow Commissioner Jeff Benton. I believe Mike Frum will be joining us shortly, and our clerks, and I believe, Sarah, you're leading today.
I am. Resolution number 21-692, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held August 2nd, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-692. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We have no public comment this morning. Resolution number 21-693, in the matter of approving purchase orders, then and now certificates and payments of warrants and batch numbers CMA PR 0804.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-693. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-694, in the matter of setting the date and time for filing applications for the designation of public depositories of active monies for Delaware County for a 4-year period commencing December 1st, 2021 pursuant to Section 135.33 of the Ohio Revised Code.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-694. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-695, in the matter of changing the location of the Delaware County Commissioners' session for Monday, September 20th, 2021, to the Delaware County Fairgrounds stage by the Coliseum.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. I just make the statement, this is something we, as the commissioners do each year, and we have our Monday meeting out there, and looking forward to it again this year. With that, call for the vote.
Vote on motion 21-695. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-696, in the matter of canceling the Delaware County session scheduled for Thursday, September 16th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-696. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-697, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-697. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-698, in the matter of appointing members to the Delaware County Board of Building Appeals.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jane Hawes, Director of Communications. We have before you first the Board of Building Appeals. We have 2 appointees to recommend to you, Rajat Shah and Matthew Akers.
Any questions or comments?
I'd just like to comment, we had 4 just really good candidates for this. Not all that active of a board, and so really appreciate the other 2 members that are not being appointed, and encourage them to participate in other boards, because we need good people on a whole bunch of boards, and we had 4 really good ones apply for this. So.
I'd just like to reinforce that statement. This has no reflection on the other 2 applicants, because we had 4 tremendous applicants. And in fact, typically we might do some screening, but all 4 of the applicants were interviewed, and all 4 of them interviewed extremely well. So this is not a reflection on them at all. And to Commissioner Benton's point, I think and hope that they will seek out other opportunities.
Yeah.
Call the vote.
Vote on motion 21-698. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-699, in the matter of appointing a member to the Delaware County Finance Authority Board of Directors.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
And we have before you a recommendation to appoint John Comerford, who is the president of Otterbein University, to the Finance Authority Board, and we recommend approval.
Questions or comments?
Yeah, I guess I'd like to just lead it off by saying we became aware of Mr. Comerford's interest in joining this board, and he brings a really good perspective and background to this board. He's done a lot of work in workforce development. He's done a lot of partnerships at Otterbein with their program that partners with a whole bunch of different businesses. He's familiar with a lot of the local community leaders, with the business leaders, and again, just an outstanding candidate that will add a lot of perspective and value to this board, which is an extremely important position. And he will be an outstanding board member. Really enthused that he was interested in participating and helping this board.
I'll just add, too, we're very fortunate that of his interest in the board with what he's done with Otterbein so successfully, reaching out to business in the region, not only for the students, but, I mean, just to help economic development in general. And it's really what he's done there with the Point, and the Point is new building at Otterbein, and really has encouraged entrepreneurship, and so he is a great addition. Glad we could.
Yeah, the Point is actually being expanded.
Oh,
It's been
really?
so successful that they're expanding it and adding more facilities and more programs and more internships and more partnerships and teaching opportunities. Some of the executives from these companies are teaching at
Okay.
Otterbein. So,
great. Yeah.
again, just great partnerships that he and the Otterbein leadership and the business community have developed, and just thrilled to have that
Yes.
leadership join our finance authority and lead our economic development efforts.
There's not much I can
Yeah,
add.
really.
But I was gonna say, you feel like sometimes, but I can say ditto, I can say I agree, but I will just say this very succinctly. We all know Dr. Comerford, and will be an invaluable addition to a board that has really come a long way in the last 6, 7, 8 years, and really doing good things in our county. And I have to believe he's going to be very well received of his fellow board members, and the resources that the University of Otterbein provides to that possibilities, and his excitement about serving are all great reasons for him to be part of it. And I think we're all looking very much forward to his participation. If there's nothing else to add, call for the vote.
Vote on motion 21-699. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Bitton?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution
Thank
number
you.
21-700, in the matter of approving the CASA program expansion agreement for Delaware County.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion?
Good morning, Karen Watkins from the Juvenile Court. This is with the Ohio CASA program. They have offered us a little more than $25,000 to support a program assistant in the Union County office for the CASA program for a year.
So there are no local dollars,
No.
local Delaware County
No,
dollars?
it's through our VOCA grant that we have, as well as the agreement with both Union County and Ohio CASA. There are no dollars being spent from Delaware County and Union County.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-700. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Bitton?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Resolution number 21-701, in the matter of transfer of appropriation for the Veteran Services Department.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion?
Morning, Commissioners. Brian Gallagher, Director of the Veteran Service Office. This is a transfer appropriation from benefits into services and charges. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
No.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-701. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Bitton?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Resolution number 21-702, in the matter of approving a contract between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners and Honeywell Building Systems for EBI services and flex automation services.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion?
Good morning, John Melvin, Director of Facilities. This contract is for the HVAC building controls for the new courthouse, 117, the jail, and the Carnegie Building. This is the service agreement to help maintain those systems.
Questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 21-702. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
And how are we doing on the AC in this building?
We're still working with the contractor. They are being responsive, so, yeah, it's coming along. Yes, we're getting there.
We haven't forgotten.
It's
So
still,
anyway,
they're still
anything else?
working.
He has more.
Yep, let's move forward.
Resolution number 21-703, in the matter of approving a contract between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners and Integrated Protection Services for equipment and installation of fire alarms in the Carnegie Building.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion.
This contract is for IPS to come in. The current fire alarm panel in the Carnegie Building is obsolete and no longer supported, so this will put a new system in, just replacing what is there with a new modern system.
Questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 21-703. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-704, in the matter of approving a contract between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners and Superior Petroleum for fuel management systems.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion.
This is to replace the track fuel management system that we utilize at the service center, and then we use it at the water treatment plants. It's for the cruisers, everybody to be able to get fuel down there out of the fuel tanks. Was hoping to postpone this until we were completed at Bixby. However, the system is no longer supported, parts are no longer available, so we have to go ahead and do this upgrade now. Now, I did coordinate this. This is the exact system that the engineer's office used over at Channing Street, so their system will transfer with the service center system out to Bixby. So we'll be able to relocate this system,
Oh, great.
and it's the same system. So the engineer's office won't have to do anything with their fleet to be able, when we move out to Bixby.
Questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 21-704. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-705, in the matter of authorizing the procurement card for the Facilities Maintenance Department.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion.
We have a new employee in our maintenance one position. Darren, this would provide him with a procurement card.
Questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 21-705. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We are skipping over item number 16 today. Item 17, resolution number 21-706, in the matter of approving a services agreement between NeoGov and the Delaware County Board of Commissioners.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Ella Mondell, Human Resources Manager. Before you is a motion to purchase additional modules of the NeoGov system. These are the Perform modules and the Onboard modules that we will use for performance reviews and onboarding new employees. We already use NeoGov for recruitment.
Okay, any questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 21-706. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Since we cannot start our public hearing until 10 o'clock, we can move on to administrative reports.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mike Fromer, County Administrator. The first thing I wanted to update was I attended the Finance Authority meeting last evening. And, the Finance Authority is chugging along, and they're looking to do a couple meetings in the next couple months. One kind of geared towards infrastructure with the county organizations and agencies to kind of coordinate those efforts. I think with the Berwyn Business Park, it's really important, when we have water, broadband, also sewer, and road work, so that's good. And then I think they were going to do an outreach to developers as well, to another meeting with developers to talk about the incentives and different programs that are being, done in the county. So I think those will be really good meetings that they're going to host, over the next couple months. Also, John and I met with Gil Bain, who was the, selected or ranked highest. And, we were working through, and I know John's going to present a contract with that, but, couple things on that is, we want to take a little bit of step back and spend more time on value engineering. And I think that the market is showing some signs that maybe, starting in January, with the commodities markets and stuff like that. I mean, I think there's the supply is starting to catch up, and I think it'll be it'll work nicely because it'll give Gilbane a time to do value engineering. But then also start, timing could be very well to start that in like January to start the construction. I know that sounds like a long ways away, but it's August. And before you know, it'll be, the fall and then going into winter, so. But that's all I have.
Sounds good.
Commissioner?
Didn't really have much to report. We've got a SEPCO board meeting tomorrow morning. That's pretty much it.
Commissioner Lewis?
I would like to give a shout out to Adam Howard. Adam is with our General Health District, and I received a call the other night about what a great job Adam has done. The call was from our former governor, John Kasich, and he said Adam deserves a gold star and for his help to others during COVID. And he was very effusive in his praise, and so I did talk to our director of general health, Sheila Hiddleston, and told her, and she was aware of the compliment too, because I guess the governor had called Adam directly also, but he wanted to make sure that I mentioned this, and so I also called Adam and thanked him. So it's always great when you get a great compliment like that. And the other thing, good news on our Housing Alliance has put in a request with Congressman Troy Balderson for monies to help our young adult housing. We don't have any young adult housing, and it's become a real problem here in Delaware County because once kids are out of foster care, aged out of foster care, some are actually turned out into the streets. And there was one in talking to our superintendent here, Delaware City Schools, she mentioned that one boy was actually sleeping outside the school because he wanted to keep going to school, but there was no place for him to go. So, we always try and I know our JFS and others, United Way, always tries to take care of these situations, and but they're tough. So the good news is that that Congressman Balderson, and we need to give him a big thanks, he took this request to the U.S. House Appropriations Committee. The Appropriations Committee passed this request. It was for $750,000 for young adult housing, and the U.S. House just passed it within the last couple days. So it now goes to the Senate. We'll see what happens, and but we are following it very closely. And again, great thanks to Congressman Balderson. After I called them, they acted on it right away. So it's great to have that responsiveness from other elected officials. So.
Yeah, I know exactly what this housing is intended to look like, but I've talked about this before. There's that transition period that a foster child goes through. It's almost like just like a dorm style. They don't need a place that has a kitchen, small kitchen, and a bedroom, places that they can call their own as they transition to adulthood. So.
Well, the good thing about that too is that Brandon Feller, president of United Way, and also Gina Grody, she's the vice president, they have been visiting other counties and seeing what is set up and what works and doesn't work. They said people have been very frank too in saying, okay, this is what you want to do, you don't want to do this, and and giving advice. So that's been very helpful.
Very good. Anything else?
That's it.
I have nothing to add. We've got about 10 minutes for our hearing. I'm going to suggest that we go ahead and do our executive session. It could go a little past 10, which means our 10 o'clock hearing could be a few minutes late, but I think in interest of time, anyone opposed to that?
Oh, no, let me just add one thing with the hearing, because this deals with Duncan's Glen, which is in Lake of the Woods. I'm a resident of Lake of the Woods, and therefore I will not be a part of the decision-making and will recuse myself.
But you'll be back for the 11
I
o'clock.
will be back for the 11
Uh,
o'clock, and the excitement there that I hear
Very good.
will take place.
With that, executive session.
Resolution number 21-707, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of employment of a public employee or public official for pending or imminent litigation.
So moved.
Second?
Motion made and seconded, discussion, vote?
Vote on motion 21-707. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benz?
Aye.
With that, we're now in executive session.